The concepts of Nesara and Gesara have captivated a specific corner of the internet for decades, promising a radical and utopian transformation of our world. Nesara stands for the National Economic Security and Recovery Act. It is described as a set of secret economic reforms designed for the United States. Its proponents believe it will erase all personal debt, including mortgages, credit cards, and student loans. Furthermore, it is said to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and replace the income tax with a national sales tax on non-essential new goods. This act promises to usher in an era of unprecedented prosperity and peace for all American citizens. Gesara, its global counterpart, stands for the Global Economic Security and Recovery Act. This theory expands the promises of Nesara to a worldwide scale. According to believers, Gesara would be announced after Nesara's implementation in the United States. It would supposedly cancel all national debts, reset the global financial system, and release enormous humanitarian funds. This new system, often called the quantum financial system, is said to be backed by precious metals like gold, ending the era of fiat currency. The ultimate goal is to eliminate poverty and war, creating a harmonious new age for all of humanity across the globe. The core promise of both Nesara and Gesara is a fundamental reset of the established order. Proponents claim that these reforms were secretly passed into law decades ago, but have been suppressed by a powerful, shadowy cabal of global elites, including powerful bankers, politicians, and media figures. This cabal, often referred to as the deep state, allegedly benefits from the current system of debt and control and has worked tirelessly to prevent the public from learning the truth. The narrative is one of a hidden battle between forces of good, who are trying to release these reforms, and forces of evil, who are desperately trying to maintain their power over the world. This belief system paints a picture of a world on the brink of a massive, positive change. The activation of Nesara and Gesara is often referred to as the event or the Great Awakening. It is not just about financial reform, it is a spiritual and societal revolution. Supporters believe it will release suppressed technologies, such as free energy devices and advanced medical cures, that have been hidden from the public for years. The narrative offers a powerful sense of hope and vindication for those who feel left behind or wronged by the current economic and political systems, promising a future where justice and abundance prevail for everyone. The origins of the Nesara theory trace back to the late 1980s and early 1990s. The original concept was developed by Harvey Francis Barnard, an engineering consultant from Louisiana. He wrote a proposal titled "Draining the Swamp: The Nesara Story" and sent it to members of Congress, convinced his plan would solve the nation's economic problems. His proposal included the sweeping reforms now associated with the theory, like replacing the income tax and forgiving debt. However, Barnard's proposal never gained any traction in Washington, D.C., and was never introduced as a bill or passed into law, a fact that is often overlooked by modern followers. The story took a dramatic turn in the early 2000s when a woman known as the Dove of Oneness, whose real name was Shani Goodwin, picked up Barnard's ideas and began promoting them online. She claimed that Nesara had actually been secretly passed by Congress in March 2000 and signed into law by President Bill Clinton. Goodwin alleged that a gag order prevented anyone involved from speaking about it, and its announcement was imminent, scheduled for September 11, 2001, at 10 a.m. She claimed the terrorist attacks on that day were a deliberate act by the deep state to prevent the announcement and keep humanity enslaved in debt. This new, more conspiratorial version of the Nesara narrative began to spread rapidly through early internet forums and email chains. It was a story that combined elements of financial hope with a grand struggle of good versus evil. Goodwin's updates, often called Dove reports, created a sense of urgency and community among her followers. She would frequently predict new announcement dates, and when they passed without incident, she would explain them away as further interference from the dark cabal. This pattern of failed predictions has continued for over 2 decades, but it has not deterred the core believers in the movement. Over time, the American-centric Nesara theory evolved into the global Gesara. As the theory spread to international audiences online, the narrative adapted to include the entire world. The scope of the conspiracy grew larger, encompassing not just U.S. politicians and bankers but global institutions like the United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund. This global expansion made the theory more appealing to a wider audience, tapping into worldwide discontent with the global financial system and a desire for a more equitable world. The promise was no longer just for Americans, but for all people on Earth. Today, the Nesara and Gesara narrative is primarily kept alive and spread through a vast network of online communities. These theories thrive on social media platforms, video sharing sites, and dedicated forums where influencers and believers share intel and updates. These communities are often intertwined with other major conspiracy movements, most notably QAnon. For many QAnon followers, the activation of Nesara and Gesara is a key part of the plan to defeat the deep state. Figures like Donald Trump are often portrayed as central heroes in this saga, secretly working behind the scenes to trigger the global financial reset and bring justice to the world. The appeal of these theories is deeply rooted in feelings of economic anxiety and political disenfranchisement. For individuals struggling with debt, stagnant wages, or a sense of powerlessness against large institutions, the promise of total debt forgiveness and a new, fair system is incredibly compelling. It transforms a complex and often frustrating economic reality into a simple narrative with clear heroes and villains. The belief provides a sense of hope and empowerment, suggesting that a miraculous solution is just around the corner. It also builds a strong sense of community among believers, who feel they are part of a select group with access to secret, world-changing knowledge. Recent events have seen these online discussions spill over into the real world. In March 2024, for instance, a Quantum Summit 2 event was held in Cape Canaveral, Florida. This gathering brought together prominent figures in the movement, including Republican lawmakers from Arizona like Senator Mark Finchem. The summit's agenda was a blend of topics central to the Gesara belief system, including discussions about cryptocurrency, the quantum financial system, and even more esoteric subjects like the Galactic Federation and flat Earth theories. Such events demonstrate how these once fringe ideas are gaining a foothold and a degree of public legitimacy within certain political circles. The core message from these modern messengers is one of imminent and dramatic change. A recent focal point for many followers was July 4, 2025. For weeks and months leading up to this date, influencers and online communities buzzed with predictions that this Independence Day would mark the official activation of Nesara in the United States, triggering the global Gesara reset. This specific date was loaded with symbolic meaning, representing freedom from the alleged tyranny of the financial elite. The anticipation built to a fever pitch, with followers eagerly awaiting the promised announcement that would change their lives and the world forever. Despite the intense anticipation and fervent predictions, July 4, 2025, came and went without any official announcement or evidence of Nesara or Gesara being activated. As of today, July 8, 2025, there is no credible proof that any of the promised reforms have been implemented. The banking systems continue to operate as they did before, debts have not been forgiven, and the IRS has not been abolished. For critics and observers, this is another example in a long line of failed prophecies that have defined the movement for over 20 years. For believers, however, the lack of an announcement is often interpreted not as a failure, but as another delay caused by the ongoing battle with the deep state. The Nesara and Gesara belief system does not exist in a vacuum. It is often connected to a wide array of other beliefs and conspiracy theories. A significant topic of discussion among supporters is the future of cryptocurrencies, particularly XRP. Many believe that under Gesara, XRP will become a key bridge currency in the new quantum financial system, leading to a massive surge in its value. This belief is so strong that the ongoing legal battles between the SEC and Ripple, the company behind XRP, are followed with intense interest. The recent backing of XRP by a firm linked to the Trump family has only fueled speculation that it is destined for a central role in the new economy. Beyond finance, the theories often extend into the realm of the esoteric and extraterrestrial. Many Gesara proponents believe in the existence of benevolent alien races, sometimes referred to as the Galactic Federation of Light, who are assisting humanity in its transition to a higher state of consciousness. They believe these beings are helping to secure the new financial system and will reveal themselves to the public after Gesara is announced. This blend of financial hope, political intrigue, and spiritual or sci-fi elements creates a comprehensive worldview that offers answers to many of life's biggest questions for its followers. In a world filled with complex problems and a constant stream of information, it can be tempting to embrace simple narratives that promise a perfect solution. However, it is crucial to approach extraordinary claims with a healthy dose of skepticism and a commitment to critical thinking. When confronted with theories like Nesara and Gesara, it is important to seek out information from multiple reliable sources, such as established news organizations, financial experts, and government institutions. Verifying facts and questioning the sources of information is the best defense against misinformation and a vital practice for navigating our increasingly complicated digital world.